But we still have with us, of course, Chris Melcher, celebrity attorney out in California, and Dr. Carol Lieberman with us. Chris, let me tell you, to me, there's a big difference. Johnny Depp testifying in front of a judge, probably wearing a wig, I'm not sure, over in the UK, versus, 7 citizens from Fairfax County, Virginia. I think it's a big difference, a much different dynamic.
Well, it is a much different dynamic. I mean, lawyers and judges are used to analyzing things kind of sterilely, that we look at elements.
We're jaded, aren't we? Aren't we just jaded?
Well, yeah, we're jaded. And I think that, the jury in our country is this system of justice that helps equalize things and cuts across things. So he does have an advantage, I think, with a jury rather than a judge. Also, in England, Amber was not a party. So she was called as a witness, but here she's a party, and there's a lot more latitude that Johnny has in this case because she's a party. So I think he's able to develop more evidence in this case than he was previously.
Dr. Carol Lieberman, something else that will take place that'll be a little different because she's a party, she's there. So she'll be in the courtroom. So as Johnny is testifying about her, the jury can not only observe Johnny Depp, but will observe her reactions as well. To me, this is so different. And because ultimately, I think it comes down to who does the jury like and believe? Is it her or is it him?
Well, as you were saying, she has been coming into court, looking like prim and proper and angelic, but at the same time you catch her in with certain expressions, and she looks kind of smug and like, above it all. So there's that. And I agree that maybe Johnny should have had a little bit more conservative kind of hair and mustache, but that's not him. It's not how he usually looks. But the case in the UK, I think, is somewhat of an anomaly because really, first of all, he had 2 of his previous women he had relationships with who testified, Winona Ryder and Vanessa Paradis, and they both said that when they were in relationships with him, that he wasn't abusive. I think the fact that there was just one person, one judge, making a decision, I don't know that the judge really took things into consideration appropriately. Plus, Johnny has tried to appeal twice and he wasn't allowed to appeal. He wasn't allowed to have a new trial. So, they said that the judge made the proper ruling, or he had enough evidence, or something like that. And it just seems like I don't know, that there was that, and they were mainly basing it all on Amber Heard.
Absolutely. Chris, the uniqueness of this is now Johnny Depp's been through this once already. It was overseas, but he has testified. This isn't really would you consider this a sequel, or was that the dress rehearsal? How would you kind of look at having to do this now a second time?
Well, Vinny, it's a great point, and we've seen when we've had to do retrials that they come out differently. People testify. You do get some training when you have trial 1 and go into trial 2. Johnny was a great witness, I thought, based on accounts from the English case. He was confronted. He's saying, do you have an anger management problem because you got angry this one day? And he had a great comeback. He says, well, sometimes I burst out in laughter, and it doesn't mean I have a humor problem. So he's very quick. He's charming. So yes, he's been through it. He's taken some lumps. I got to think that they learned a lot from that case, and they're going to retool. And I agree with what Dominic was saying and Carol about maybe cleaning up a little bit. I mean, it's not him, but as lawyers, we like to control stuff. When, with criminal defendants, we get them out of the jail blues and we put them into a suit. It's a little bit harder when you got a celebrity to say, hey, maybe you want to change your hair a little bit. It's a hard one, but as lawyers, we should be having that conversation with our clients, whether they like it or not.
Yeah, but Dr. Lieberman, wouldn't the jury see through that a little bit? Because when criminal defendants in trials we cover clean themselves up, the jury doesn't know who they are, so they don't know what they looked like when they committed the murder. unless there's a video of it, right? But everyone knows kind of what Johnny Depp is like. That's why I'm torn on this issue of cleaning him up.
Well, I mean, not that he should come in, looking like with a military haircut, looking like that, but with his hair like, swirling all around, and his mustache and so on, he looks a little bit like a wild man. So you could kind of picture some of the things that Amber is trying to say, how she's trying to make him look. That's the only thing. I mean, yes, you don't want to make it fake, because that would, the jury would be, I think if they knew what he looked like before, they would be a little surprised and maybe a little put off. But just a little less wild,
Yeah, well, he's got the Harry Potter glasses, makes him look a little more studious. All right, Chris, Dr. Carol Lieberman staying with us. When we come back, let's talk about this. You know who's on the witness list? Elon Musk. And apparently, according to Johnny Depp, there's allegations that Elon Musk was with Amber Heard shortly after she married Johnny Depp. More details when we return.
.com.
Mr. Baruch, do you know who Elon Musk is?
Sure.
Have you ever seen Mr. Musk in person?
Yeah.
Where did you see him in person?
First time was I'm getting into the elevator on the rooftop, penthouse level. I'm going into the elevator, and he's coming out of the elevator, going past me.
And when did that take place?
This is after May. This is sometime June, it could be July, but after May.
In that same year, 2016?
Yeah.
Johnny Depp's friend, Isaac Baruch, talking about Elon Musk being in the penthouse, and he's on the witness list in this case. Also big in the news, right? Everyone's talking about Elon Musk, maybe trying to perhaps have a hostile takeover of Twitter and buy it, the world's richest man. But he is on the witness list, and Johnny Depp's friend, Isaac Baruch, testified about him. Let's listen to a little bit more.
And when was the second time that you saw Mr. Musk?
One morning waking up and going and opening up the shades to the bedroom, and it's on the second floor, and it overlooks the balconies, our adjoining balconies, because my balcony joins with John and Amber's balcony. And that opening up the shades, I see Elon Musk going through the balcony door on their side to then walk down a common corridor to that then at the end leads to a door that you walk out to the rest of the rooftop. And it could be, you go to the pool, you go to the gym and stuff. So I'm looking out, and the view out the window is of both of our balconies. So that's where I saw him.
And when was that?
Oh, sometimes it's either June, July, but it's after May.
And when he says after May, that's after like the split between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Let's bring back in Court TV legal correspondent Chanley Painter, who's in Fairfax County, Virginia tonight. But the allegations from Johnny Depp's side is that this relationship, or alleged relationship, whatever it was, happened before the breakup.
Yeah, way before the breakup. In fact, less than a month after Amber Heard and Johnny Depp were married, Johnny Depp alleges that she began an affair with Elon Musk. This continued throughout the relationship, according to Johnny Depp. Now, interesting, Vinny, I've read through the court documents. There's a declaration by the concierge of the Eastern Columbia building where these penthouses were, and this concierge says that Elon Musk was a frequent visitor to Amber Heard at the penthouse when Johnny Depp was out of town. So much so that Amber Heard allegedly gave Elon Musk a key fob to get into the building freely whenever he wanted. So the allegations coming from Johnny Depp, of course, being that they were having an affair, but also key, and we've heard this mentioned, there's text messages between Elon Musk and Amber Heard. He is on her witness list, not Johnny Depp's witness list, Vinny, on Amber Heard's witness list, obviously to contend that they were not having an affair. That's what she alleges. But these text messages go to her wanting this restraining order against Johnny Depp in 2016. So she's hoping those maybe work in her favor. She allegedly, or he offers 24/7 security for her to go to her contention that she was in fear. She was the victim in this case. So that's what we know. And don't expect Elon Musk to walk into the courthouse behind me. He would be called if he is called in her case by video link, WebEx link, Vinny.
Yeah, he could be in outer space testifying. He could be anywhere, right?
Right.
Exactly. All right. By the way, we've got some good news. We've got Nick Wallace, who's joining us now. We're able to connect with him from down in Fairfax County, Virginia. Great to see you again, Nick. Let me start first.
Hey there, Vinny.
In the UK trial, did Elon Musk, was he any part of it?
He was mentioned a couple of times, particularly in Mr. Depp's opening statement. He went to great lengths to, basically go over the same evidence that you've just heard. The court documentation says one of the concierges for their apartment building will testify that in March 2015, while Mr. Depp was away, Ms. Heard would be visited late at night by Mr. Musk, and so frequently that he was given his own key to their penthouse. So as you can see, they are repeating the allegations that were made in the UK libel trial in 2020. However, I just want to read out a section of the judgment from that libel trial, which of course Mr. Depp lost. The judge, Mr. Justice Nicholl, says, "It is no part of my function to decide whether Mr. Depp was having an affair with Rochelle any more than it is my function to decide whether Ms. Heard had affairs with James Franco, Billy Bob Thornton, Elon Musk, or anyone else. Even if she had been unfaithful in this sense, it could not begin to excuse the use of violence in consequence." To be fair to Mr. Depp and Ms. Heard, neither suggested that it could. And that was how Elon Musk was dealt with in the 2020 judgment. And of course, this is a libel trial. This is about what Amber Musk wrote in the Washington Post. Amber Heard wrote in the Washington Post, not whether or not she was having an affair with Elon Musk. And just on the point of whether or not he will be testifying, one of my sources is very down on that idea. They don't think that Elon Musk can be compelled to testify. He hasn't given a video deposition. So unless things change and he decides that he will testify on Amber Heard's behalf, he can't be compelled to by the court.
That's interesting. We'll see if he wants to come help. He wanted to provide security for her, apparently. Maybe he'll want to help her in the case. Let me ask you, Nick, while we have you, Johnny Depp, when he testified in the UK, can you paint the picture for us? How was he on the stand? Was he a movie character? Was he real? How did he come across?
Well, he describes himself in court documents as a Southern gentleman, and he was cross-examined on that point by the Sun newspaper's QC, Sasha Wass, who made much play of the fact that he did use that characterization, and yet she then went on to make lots of very serious allegations about him. In person, he was charming. He was present in the room. He was on point. He was charismatic. He was articulate. He was funny at times. The judge asked him if he'd like to take a break towards the end of a long day, and he said, I would do a Snoopy dance to get out of this witness box. To which the judge said, "Does that mean you would like to?" And so he did make jokes from times, and he had a very easy manner around him. He was incredibly polite and courteous to the court ushers, the staff who let him into the courtroom, etc. And so there was no sign of this drug-fueled monster that he was being painted at, though, of course, we did see videos and we did hear audio recordings of him in alternative states of consciousness, I think is a polite way of putting it.
One follow-up. He describes himself as a Southern gentleman. Virginia is pretty close. It's below the Mason-Dixon line, so it's it's in the South, so to speak. His accent, how would you describe it? And when he's speaking in court, does he sound American to you?
Look, I'm British, so all he sounds to me is American. I mean, I can tell Isaac Baruch is from Brooklyn, but I have a great difficulty differentiating between most of the other accents in the US.
Because he almost sounds to us like
he's American to me.
But to us, when I've heard him speak, and he doesn't speak a lot and not so loudly, he almost sounds like he has a little bit of a European English type accent. To me.
Well, he spends so much time in Europe now, doesn't he? So it's not surprising that he will have picked it up. And of course, you can imagine how actors soak up accents very clearly. But when he was in the rather staid and fusty environment of a British courtroom, and you have all these clips, received pronunciation type voices pinging around him, he did come across as very American.
All right. Nick, thanks so much. I'm glad we connected. I'm going to bring in Dr. Carol Lieberman and Chris Melcher for some final words tonight. I want to go back to the Elon Musk issue. What do you think, Chris? Does Elon Musk make an appearance, whether it's via WebEx or however, to come to support Amber Heard? And how much of an impact would the world's richest man have on this jury?
I can't imagine why he would want to have any part of this. I think there's a difference between offering Paramore some security when he's in a dating relationship with her, if that's what happened, versus after the fact coming in and testifying. This would not help him. So I don't know why he would want to do it. And generally, you can't compel a non-resident to come testify in a state trial, so he may be outside the subpoena power of the court. But if he did come to help, it would be significant, because she would only call him if he had something helpful to say, and it would be about her fear. And all she really has to show is that she was in an abusive relationship. However the jury thinks, and we have a broad definition of abuse, not just physical violence, but the jury thinks she was in an abusive relationship, then that makes her op-ed piece true, and that means he loses the defamation trial.
Dr. Carol Lieberman.